Wait until I give you the details of this childish scam that the oil companies were running. It's amazing they were able to get away with this for so long. An environmental engineer from Maryland and former EPA agent by the name of Thomas Schruben got together with a team of investigators, lawyers, and other experts to look into a suspicion that he had about Chevron, BP, ExxonMobil, and some other oil companies. He thought that those companies were doing something called double dipping. Now, what that means is, the way the scam works, there are different states that have allocated different amounts of money for a cleanup fund if something goes wrong with one of these fossil fuel companies, like there's an oil spill or there's an issue at a place where the stuff is stored and, you need to take care of it, and the state will come in and give you some funds. So what the companies do is they purposely build either shitty pipes or shitty storage. They wait for a leak to happen, and then when the leak happens, they go to the state, and the state reimburses them. And then what they do is they go to their insurance companies also and get reimbursed for the same amount of money for the same problem, as if they hadn't gotten the money from the state already. And then all you have to do is lie to both parties and tell the state, oh yeah, we don't have insurance. And then they'll pay you. And then tell the insurance company, yeah, the state didn't help us. And then they pay you. And they get away with it. Quote, one document from 2006, for example, shows Chevron received a check for $19,000 from the state to clean up and monitor a leak at a gas station in the small southern New Mexico town of Artesia. On the application to receive money from the tank fund, the company checked no next to the question, do you have insurance? The company did have insurance and collected another $19,000 from the insurance carrier after receiving money from the state fund. Unbelievable. Now, Minnesota claims that BP collected over $25 million from that fund. Colorado, it was $35 million. And the research led to more than 20 cases of fraud against big oil companies, and multi-million-dollar settlements have already been reached in Arizona, Utah, and New Mexico. Now, the craziest part of this all is, well, of course, how amazingly simple this scam was, but that the government didn't catch on to it, and the government didn't crack down. It took a guy who was a former EPA agent and an environmental engineer from Maryland, a former EPA agent, that said, I think something's up here and I'm going to look into it privately. So that means the EPA, the actual EPA, was asleep at the wheel. The lawmakers were asleep at the wheel. And everybody was just sitting with their thumbs up their asses like, oh, I don't know, we getting ripped off? I don't know, I don't care. Well, fuck it. Who cares? And look, I mean, it all comes back to the same issue, man. Are you really naive enough to think that this didn't have a lot to do with corruption? That a lot of people probably just simply looked the other way as this went on because the oil companies let them in on some of the profits? I mean, we know that's the way that politics works in America. If you go to opensecrets.org and type in ExxonMobil or BP or Chevron, you can see the untold millions of dollars that these guys give to federal politicians, but also state politicians. And when those guys get in office, they're going to look out for their buddies who gave them money. So they can get away with a hell of a lot more, and they can just flat out steal. God, it's ridiculous, and it's incredible. It makes you wonder, what other things are all these big companies getting away with that we don't know about right now?